today and tomorrow on The Raging Atheist. We're gonna prove once and for all that the war on Christmas was started and perpetuated by Christians. And we're gonna prove that simply by looking at the entire history of Christmas. What is up, you heathens and demons, you beautiful, blasphemous people? Welcome back to The Raging Atheist. I'm your boy, Nakasuchi, and I just really want to wish all of you guys a very happy holidays.
I want you to do my homework since you want to be such a smart ass. After that, in the nighttime, I want you to cut the hair on my balls.
And like I said, we're going to be taking a look at the entire history of Christmas. This is going to be fun. And bear with me, because it's going to be a 6-part series. And I'm releasing them all on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Today, motherfuckers, today. So you're going to get 3 today, you're going to get 3 tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get them all done, but it shouldn't be too hard to do. And we're going to go through and we're going to prove that the war on Christmas was a hoax. And it was always something that was fought only by Christians. So let's get into it. You know, the fact that the holiday here in America is called Christmas is very misleading. It's only called Christmas because of Christians, you know, but the holiday's never really been about Christ at all. Never. In fact, the holiday's been going on way before Christ was even born. Winter solstice celebrations have been going on and was going on centuries before Jesus Christ was ever born. Even if you believe that he was. I don't, but if you believe that he was, these winter solstice celebrations have been going on for fucking centuries. Now, in the Norse tradition, the Vikings, this celebration was called Yule, and they would go out and they would find the biggest fucking log that they could find, and they would set it on fire, and it would usually burn for about 12 days. And this would start on December 21st, and this would be a period of great feasting and fucking and merriment. The Norse would also bring in evergreen trees into their homes because it was a tree that could survive the harsh winter. And it would be a sign of life surviving the darkness, of surviving winter. Now, 1,000 miles away from the Vikings and their drunken merriment over the winter solstice, 1,000 miles away and still centuries before Jesus, the Romans were also having their winter solstice celebration. 1 week before the winter solstice, every year, the Romans would begin celebrating Saturnalia. And this was a celebration, an orgy of food and drink. And I mean orgy. I mean, they were fucking, they were drinking, they were eating, they were having a merry time, and all the people of Rome would do this. This celebration was for the god Saturn, which meant plenty. And they used this time to celebrate, you know, his plentiness. It was a time of harvest. It was a time where they were bringing in their crops for the winter, their food for the winter, and they had abundant meat and abundant crops. And this was a good time, and always has been. I mean, it's like in human nature, right? You want to celebrate the ongoing life through the harsh winter. Like even here in Michigan, some winters you just feel like almost taken back to those times. If you're walking down the road and there's 6 feet of snow and it's a blizzard, and I mean you just really feel primitive in some moments. And even back then, the city of Rome was normally a well established order, it was a place of order, and you had your elements, but it was a place of order. But not during the winter solstice, not during this holiday. It was a time of drinking and festivity and merriment and fucking and just having a good time, being fertile, creating more life. That's what the winter was for. You got your work done in the summers, and in the winter you brought it all in with the woman folk and got your business on. And often in Rome, I found this to be an interesting fact, often in Rome, during this celebration of Saturnalia, slaves would get a chance to pretend to be the master and the master of the slave. Now, I'm quite sure that there were rules and limitations, like, you ain't gonna go whipping the master. But, they would have that moment where the roles would reverse, and I found that to be pretty cool. Even though, slavery is fucking reprehensible. But it's a fact that Rome had slavery, and the fact that they would take this moment to switch places maybe would teach the master a bit about some humanism, but we're talking about primitive people, so who the fuck knows? But this celebration of Saturnalia, that was for the common and middle class people. That was for your normal people. People like, you and me, or, people like me. I'm not going to assume to know what you are. It was for the common people. It was for the normal people. The important people, the people of power and influence of the city of Rome, well, they had their own winter solstice celebration. Most of the rulers of Rome, the noble class, the aristocrat class, the people that had power and influence, most of those people worshipped Mithra, the god of the unconquerable sun, right? And Mithra's birthday was December 25th. Imagine that, December 25th was Mithra's birthday. And that's historical fact. Now, I don't think Mithra existed, but the Romans that believed in Mithra knew for a fact that Mithra's birthday was December 25th, and this made it the most holiest day of the year for them. And besides the birthday of December 25th, which we actually know was not Jesus' birthday, but Christians today pretend or don't really know that Christians way back in the day compromised the fact of their Savior's birth for politics. And we're going to get into that in the history of Christmas, and that'll be in probably the next video, but you'll see that. But other similarities that Mithra had was Mithra was born of a rock, so he wasn't born of a father like Jesus. He didn't have a mom either. He was born of a rock, whatever the fuck that means. But also shepherds, soon after he was born, came to worship him. No shit. So while the Romans, centuries before Jesus, and the Norse, century before Jesus, were drinking and fucking and having their winter solstice celebrations and merriment and fertility, well before Jesus, right off the get, if you just study a little bit of history, you see that the bullshit Christians be talking about today is just a fallacy. Christmas is not about Jesus. It never was. This is a holiday that has been about family and friends, about loved ones, about surviving the harsh winter for thousands of years. Even the most powerful men in the world, centuries before Jesus Christ, rulers of one of the greatest empires this world has ever seen. Probably the second greatest empire this world has ever seen. America would probably be the first. But rulers of the Empire of Rome themselves, centuries before Jesus was born, had a Christmas holiday. Now, it was called something else. It was a Mithra holiday. It was his, but this holiday is so ingrained into human DNA, into our DNA as human beings, that to claim it as this religious thing when it's obviously not. It's funny as fuck. But that's going to be it for our first part on the history of Jesus and proving once and for all that it's Christians that are engaging in the war on Christmas. Part 2 will be coming out really, really soon, I promise. And if you like it, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to The Raging Atheist. Comment in the comments section below. And I'm going to see you soon.